Gonzaga Baylor 1-2 most of the season, but with the way the Michigan is closing after the 3-week pause, they've just been dynamite coming off the pause. You said it. They need to be in the conversation with Gonzaga and Baylor. Why?
Well, first of all, I know that it was something intelligent if you agree with me. Now, if Keyshawn agreed with me, I'm kind of worried about it a little bit. But because you agreed with me, I feel better about the decision.
Jeez.
Gosh, already? I didn't
throwing
even do
shots
anything.
out of the gate.
I didn't even do anything, Coach. I'm minding my own business, just thinking about Jay Will and his Michigan State UConn days. That's all.
He compared me to
Hey,
Mateen.
I'm wearing this Naismith shirt in honor of my man Jay Will. The trophies aren't behind you today, Jay Will. But look, when you think about Michigan, you think about
they're there.
You think about Gonzaga, you think about Michigan. What doesn't Michigan have that those two teams have? They're elite top 5 offensive and defensive efficiency, which is incredible. All right, they've got floor gamers all over the floor. They've got terrific guard play. They've got the immovable object in Hunter Dickinson. They're so poised, so balanced offensively, defensively, so connected defensively. They share the ball. They have shot makers, and they handle adversity seamlessly. I mean, they come off of that pause. They're down at the half against Wisconsin. They come out and drop 40 against Wisconsin in a half. 40 holding to 20 win going away. They play an Iowa team. Luka Garza's probably going to be player of the year. All right. Hunter Dickinson guards him head up. No help. A little bit of help maybe from the top scraping down. All right. He goes 6 for 19. All right. And they win the game going away. Jay Will, you always used to say this, and I'm starting to believe it a little bit and kind of lean towards you. Gonzaga, they haven't played anyone. They barely were beating Santa Clara at the half yesterday. Now, look, they took over the game and they're beating people, but they haven't been pushed. They haven't been challenged in months. Baylor coming off a pause. They are the most connected defensive team I've seen since UNLV back in the day. But at times they can get stuck offensively. This Michigan team is as balanced offensively and defensively as any team in the country, and they are in the conversation and as good as the two aforementioned Baylor and Gonzaga.
Notorious BERG. Is Juwan Howard the coach of the year? Because the job he's done is phenomenal with this unit.
Jay, well, in my mind, not even a question about it. He's coach of the year. Because think about before the season, you had Gonzaga and Baylor. They were 1-2 preseason. That was expected of them. And they fulfilled their legacy. They've fulfilled the expectation. Michigan wasn't in that conversation. To me, you give the coach of the year to the coach that takes his team and gets him to a level that was unexpected. You give the coach of the year to a team that maximizes his team potential. Look, they lose Xavier Simpson, who was the leader of that team last year, who was a terrific on-ball defender. All right? They lose him. They lose Teskey, their front court rim protector. They take Michael Smith, who transferred from Columbia. He's been not good. He's been phenomenal. Phenomenal. Play starter, playmaker, shot maker, defends the ball, tough, unselfish. They take a freshman, Hunter Dickinson. All right? And the job that the staff at Michigan's done with Hunter Dickinson is absolutely terrific. He steps into the highest level of college basketball. He's a 7-footer that is comfortable in his own skin. He wants to play on the block. You double him. He's a terrific passer out of double teams, which Juwan is spacing to play out of double teams. It might be the best in college basketball. What they did to Ohio State in those double teams was clinical. And then you have Wagner, all right, who to me is just maybe has the best floor game in college basketball at 6'9", and Livers, every time he shoots it, you think it's going in. They utilize their bench. They are extremely unselfish. You can see they have joy for each other's successes. What Juwan Howard's done, not only just with this team, but with the program and with the feeling about the program, and you can see these kids really love playing with each other. He's my coach of the year. It's hands down.
Seth, I want to talk about Brad Underwood's Illini fighting team. And, Ayo Dosunmu is out indefinitely with this facial fracture. How big of a loss? I mean, he was competing against Luka Garza for National Player of the Year, in my opinion. But can you explain to us how big of a loss that is for the Fighting Illini?
It's a huge loss if he doesn't come back. And actually, in the short term, Jay Will, and tell me if you agree with this, because you've been on teams like with Ayo Dosunmu out, I agree with you. I think he has to be in the conversation for player of the year. He's the best closer in college basketball. He's the Mariano Rivera of college basketball. At the end of the game, he takes over. But because he's out, all right, Andre Cabrillo's got to have a bigger role. As a freshman, he's played a ton of minutes, but now the ball's in his hands. He's a playmaker. Adam Miller, all right, has to have a bigger role. He's got to be more consistent. Trent Frazier is going to give you great minutes. Kofi Cockburn is going to dominate the paint. But with Dosunmu out, all of a sudden for a couple of games, you're going to have two freshmen. Their roles are going to change significantly. And as their roles change, they're going to have greater ownership in what they're doing. It's not like, oh, you know what, Iowa's going to bail us out. So I think if it's just a couple of games, I think actually this team has an opportunity to grow some, develop greater depth. And then when Iowa comes back, they're going to be that much better. This is an Elite Eight team. They're a solid defensive team. They've improved defensively. They keep it in front. They don't give up splits. They're not spread out as far. Kofi Cockburn is like Baby Shaq, man. I mean, like the dude he carves out space. I mean, he's like Baby Shaq. I mean, he finishes everything around the basket. He rebounds every miss like it's a pass off the backboard. Dosunmu's phenomenal. Trent Frazier's got a toughness about him and a maturity about him. And Brad Edwards done a great job. So they're for real. I actually think in the short term, this might help them for the long term.
They got 3 monster games that they really need IU for, but they may not have them. At Wisconsin, then at number 3, Michigan, at number 4, Ohio State to end the season. And by the way, Michigan started the season at 25th, bottom of the poll. They might end up at the top when all is said and done.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.